All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, July 21st. So I'm gonna keep things short and sweet this morning. I only got about 10 minutes. I got to do the live trading here for my class today. So let's just go through a handful of setups, and let me do this real quick. I'm gonna post these all in the chat here. All right, DocuSign. A. So these are all some good-looking daily squeezes that fit my list of criteria. So I'm just going to put them in the chat for y'all here, and then we'll dive in here. NOWILMN, Datadog, VRSN, CVNA, ADSK. Good morning, Terry. What's up, brother? Wing, Shop, and Net. All right, so there are some good-looking daily squeezes that y'all can take a look at. If you like any of them, add them on there to your watch list. But let's just dive in, take a look at the indexes. So the first thing we have to note here, brand new daily squeeze for the S&P 500 futures. So granted, it's day one of a squeeze, but I like this a lot, right? So take a look at the market, right? You get the daily squeeze, you get the push higher, a little bit of choppiness, brand new daily squeeze, you get the push higher. So we're building up energy over here, releasing all that energy as the squeeze fires long. And now look at the histogram. Right? As the histogram goes from light blue to dark blue, it means the gas is running a little bit dry. Right? All that bullish momentum is starting to lose a little bit of steam. Now, if we just pull back here to the 21 EMA, and for 3 to 4 days you get a bit of a chop fest, now we got a brand new daily squeeze for the potential pushback towards the highs here. So, obviously day one into a squeeze is a little bit early to play that, but that I think that is worth noting. So look at the futures here. Right, get the little flush there last week into Monday, and we're right back above the daily 21 EMA. So as far as daily support, we're doing a pretty good job here of holding it. And if you look at the Qs are doing a good job of holding daily support as well. So I think you want to keep a close eye on the indexes here into Friday. If we can continue to hold above the 21, we got a good structure. We found support where we should. We could be grinding higher. If we start to lose the 21 EMA again, it just opens the door for a potential flush. So there's your key level of support on the daily time frame. And then like we took a look at on Monday, your weekly level of support is the weekly 8 EMA. So look how bullish the Qs look here on a weekly chart. You're only 3 weeks in the fire in a squeeze. The typical squeeze can last 5 to 8 bars. So you got plenty of room left here. And all we really did this week was dip down to the weekly 8, and we got a good bounce. So regardless of the little bit of back and forth this week, the structure is still perfect. That's still a really, really bullish weekly squeeze. So everything checks out there as far as support. And then we'll take a look here at the S&P on the weekly chart. And we're holding the 8 EMA here. So I think if we can go into Friday and you got your daily and your weekly structure intact, path of resistance continues to be to the upside. Now, if you look at a few different sectors here, there are some things getting pretty beaten down. So you do want to keep an eye on that. If you look at the transports, IYT, this is pretty nasty stuff, right? It's a loss of momentum. It's a loss of structure. And granted, you got a nice bounce yesterday, but you're getting a good bounce because you flushed down here to -3 ATR. So you're going to get that bounce. A lot of times the bounce just brings you back to the 21 and you get rejected again. And you hit -2, -3, so you bounce again and you get rejected again. So the market's holding up pretty good here because you're getting bounces all over the place. But in terms of structure, this could just be a bounce back to the 21 and then another leg to the downside. That next leg to the downside, potentially, that can put a little bit of pressure on the overall market. Energy gets a pretty solid bounce yesterday, but again, it's a total breakdown of structure. So there's a really good chance here you're going to get a bounce to the 8 or a bounce to the 21, but if it just rolls over again, that can put some pressure on the market. So technology looks great as it has. There are a few different sectors out there taking a bit of a whooping. Right now, financials, they bounced big time yesterday, and they bounced because they flushed to -2, -3 ATR. So it's good for the market in the short term. If it rolls over again, things could get interesting. So I think it's a good perspective right now. The chart of the S&P 500 looks close to flawless with the bounce back above the 21, but your transports, your energies, your financials, there are some things taking a bit of a thump in here. And then you look at the small caps, IWM, big bounce yesterday, but we're bouncing because we flushed to -3, not because the small caps are bullish here. So as it continues to bounce, it's going to hold the market up. But if we get rejected again, same thing as energy, etc. So do keep an eye on those few things. But I think just simplify our process. Focus on the indexes here. If we can hold daily structure, I tell you what, it looks like the Qs here could give us a brand new daily squeeze as well. So I think you got all the reason in the world to be patient. It's not the moment in time where I would avoid taking long positions. I would just avoid taking long positions with huge exposure. So I still think a good environment to scale down a little bit and then just focus on good, clean setups. So we'll look at a few there that I put in the chat. And a lot of what's setting up here are the software stocks, call it the cloud stocks, things in that kind of group. So just a few of them here. EBX, Dropbox, beautiful daily squeeze. I think that looks really good. NET, we took a position in NET yesterday in my mastery. Beautiful daily squeeze. We're getting our buy trigger here. You got stacked DMAs, the whole nine. So NET looks pretty good. Shop was a beast yesterday. And you got a beautiful daily squeeze here. So I think Shop could be making a push back towards those highs. And then you got Wingstop here. A little bit of Ricky Rose lemon pepper, but it's a good looking setup. Keep in mind, earnings is around the corner for a lot of these stocks. So, I like Wingstop here. I'm not sure if I want to trade it 5 or 6 days ahead of earnings, but it is a clean setup. Autodesk, ADSK, good looking daily squeeze. Carvana, good looking daily squeeze. VeriSign, really good looking daily squeeze. Datadog, the dog is looking pretty good here. And then you've got ILMN, a little bit extended here. So if you caught that yesterday, good on you. NOW looks rock solid. Right? So these are all in the chat. No freaking clue what this is, but PKI, that looks clean. Expedia, looking super bullish. You've got A, beautiful setup. You got JCOM, beautiful daily squeeze. And you got, last but not least, DocuSign. Again, a little bit extended here. I think you missed a ship on that one. But I'm showing you these setups just to show you there's no lack of opportunity here. Right? If you're hunting down those good, clean setups, there's no lack of them right now. That, I think, gives us all the reason in the world to be patient. Brand new daily squeeze of the S&P 500. Maybe we don't bounce immediately. Maybe we spend the next couple of days here chopping back and forth between +1 to -1. But if the bullish nature of the market continues, that daily squeeze could be our next opportunity to take some decent sized positions for the next leg higher. And I think we got all the reason in the world to be patient for that. So I wouldn't force anything here. I wouldn't be taking huge risk. I would just focus on your good, clean setups. As of right now, the path of least resistance in the market is still to the upside, subject to change here any day. But I think you take it day by day. Be patient, scale down a bit, focus on the best setups you can, and make your life a little bit easier here. Also, keep an eye on the volatility index. Under 20 is good. Get a little bit of the spike here early in the week, and you're fading back down. So it's kind of that typical rhythm. VIX spikes into 2 to 3 AR. The market gets a little bit wacky, flushes a little bit, but then as VIX just comes right back down, the market tends to bounce right back up. So you get a little bit of a shakeout, and then VIX dies, a little bit of a shakeout. So we do want to see VIX either kind of hold still or just keep on fading here. If you can get that happening there with VIX, and then you got your S&P and your QQQ holding daily and weekly support, everything still looks pretty good structurally, right? So I think you keep it small here. And we've seen this movie a couple of times. Little bit of a flush, little spike in volatility, and then the market just quickly gets back on its own 2 feet. In the matter of 1 to 2 days, just kind of engulfs all that selling pressure. And then we're grinding higher. And you get a little bit of a shakeroo here, and we completely engulf that. This looks exactly like the last 2 days. Okay? Flush under the 21, flush under -1, flush to -2, and the next session just completely wipes that all away. Just like over here. So now the key is to hold above the 21, and then we'd be patient waiting for the next leg higher. Hopefully all that makes sense, y'all. And with FedEx here, see a few of you talking about FedEx. The transports just look awful. At least in my book, they don't look all that good here. So, if I want to trade a transportation stock long, I would want more of a bullish structure here. So when you're getting these daily squeezes over here in the transports and you're in that beautiful uptrend, then trading the FedEx or UPS, really anything else in that basket, relatively easy. It's just following the momentum of its sector here. But you do have a daily squeeze here for FedEx. You don't have stacked DMAs yet. I'll tell you what does look bullish, though, is FedEx's weekly squeeze. So this is one reason I would be a little bit careful trying to short this thing right now. The daily chart's a little bit choppy, but in terms of the structure of the weekly squeeze, it's actually picture perfect. Holding the 21, stacked DMAs, green 10x bars, it's looking a lot like this. So be careful about fighting the weekly squeeze here. But listen, y'all, I had to keep things short and sweet this morning. I got to go get prepared for the live trading. So, today is Wednesday. All right, so I won't be talking to you on Friday. Chandler will be here. And keep in mind, Chan gets the party going a little bit earlier. So he'll be on Friday morning, but I wish all the best of luck. Sorry I had to keep things short here today, but I got to get to prepping. So be patient. I put in the chat there a handful of good-looking setups, but I think right now is that moment in time when you practice patience and you focus on the structure of the index, right? Let that tell the story. A brand new daily squeeze on top of your weekly AEMA, nothing about that is bearish. That's how I'm looking at it here. All right, I appreciate you all. I hope you have a good day. Trade safe, be patient, and I'll talk to you all soon.